Hello, I'm Joff Ayo, and I'm a logo and brand identity designer, and this is my article and design podcast episode.
You're listening to Article and Design Podcast, a podcast made with love for Filipino freelancers, small business owners, and digital agencies. I am your host, Margaret Lopez. I am a digital marketing strategist for over 8 years now, and I created Article and Design. Be part of our 1 million mission in transforming 1 million Filipinos to becoming a super freelancer and live the life and work they love. Join me as I sit down and discuss with our fellow freelancers and business owners about their process, their monumental screw up, and the tips that they swear by to help you win in this freelance game forever. Good morning and good evening or good afternoon to all the listeners of the Article and Design podcast episode. We are back with a brand new episode, guys, and I am so thrilled to interview this time sa ating podcast is our fellow Bisaya, Mr. Joff Ayo. Joff is a logo and brand identity designer hailing from Cagayan de Oro in the Philippines. Joff, bye. Salamat kayo for being in this podcast. I'm so happy you made it. Shout out to all the Bisaya freelancers all over the world, kung saan man kayo. So this one's for you guys. But don't worry, we're not gonna talk in Bisaya now. We will try to cater yung mga Tagalog listeners natin. Joff, thank you for being in the show.
Yeah, you're welcome, and my pleasure to have this first ever podcast na hindi ako host. Yeah, kasi gumagawa din ako ng podcast, pero Bisaya lang siya. Yeah.
Yeah. Joff also has a podcast called Talk Tabay. Diba, Joff? That's Talk
Yes,
Tabay or Logo Tabay. If you understand Bisaya and you're a designer, you might want to check out his podcast. Yeah. All right, Joff. So I'm so excited sa ating mga questions today for the interview because meron tayong controversial topic that we're going to discuss. So let's start. First question, Joff. I gathered sa info mo na, of course, as we've talked about, ikaw ay isang logo and brand identity designer, di ba? And at the same time, ano ka rin, parang nagkakaroon ka din ng street photography. Tapos, I also saw na sumasayaw ka din, Joff. Yung hip-hop dancing and everything. So, from those information I gathered, I understand na nandun talaga yung creativity. May creativity talaga sa'yo. Nandun yung art as a person. But can you tell us the amazing story behind this, Joff, na how you ended up being a logo and brand identity designer?
Yeah. Yes, yes. Actually, I've been a graphic designer for almost 10 years now, and my design journey is on and off because meron tayong mga needs and mga importante na gagawin such as yung focus studies and then to have a work para makatulong sa pamilya. Yeah, because back in the days na hindi ko pa realize yung freelancing at yung kumikita online. So I decided to have work in a corporate world from graphic designer and then go to stock clerk and then a government employee and then I ended up being a logo designer. I realized that this is my forte to have this skill and that regarding sa street photography ko is just my hobby that when I'm sad or something that I don't understand in myself, then I shoot in the street or even in malls, I shoot so I can express my feelings and I share stories behind my pictures that hindi makikita sa mga ordinaryong mata na makatao. Is mga meron mga story or aesthetic na para lang sa street photography na wala sa ibang genre ng photography. But it's just a hobby naman. And regarding dun sa pagsasayaw ko, yeah, I'm 5 years ako nagsasayaw. Bali, I'm competing alone lang. Just hindi katulad ng merong mga group or something like that. And I have no group. And then I compete here in Mindanao for almost 5 years, but suddenly I ended up in semifinals. In a, I'm not winning, but I realized that this is not my journey to focus on. And yeah, I ended up a logo designer and brand identity designer.
Nice. Galing. So, I like what you said dun sa, sinabi mo na yung dancing mo. Na-realize mo na hindi siya yung journey mo. Ganun kasi sabi mo, semifinals lang, hindi talaga umaabot ng finals. Tapos sinabi mo sa sarili mo, okay, I have to find my forte, which is the logo and brand identity designer. Kasi most of us talaga, Joff, even me, ako, if you know my story, kung saan-saan pa ako napunta eh. Preparatory sa med school, tapos nag-law school, nagtrabaho sa corporate, pumunta na Malaysia, ganun. But, yeah, I like it that ang dami mo pang pinagdaanan, pero dun ka pumunta sa designer, kasi first nag-work ka din as a graphic designer, di ba? As a graphic designer.
Yeah.
But yung question ko, Joff, kailan nagsimula na parang mahilig ka sa graphic design? Nung bata pa talaga? Mahilig ka na ano ba yan? A sketch or draw or mga ganun?
Actually, I'm not good in sketching or drawing. Yeah, because yeah, nainganyo lang ako when I'm first year college. I have course na multimedia na tinitake ko, and then that's the time na I want to be somebody in this industry,
Nice.
graphic design. Then, but I feel like I'm not getting the will to do graphic design because nung mga panahon na yun, wala ako, walang computer, walang laptop, but I pursue it, but suddenly, wala, but nagpursige pa rin ako na matuto na sa mag-design, how to use the tools and the design process. In that will, yeah, nandito na.
Yeah, nice.
Yun.
Yeah. So guys, when you're really committed to do something, you just have to learn eh. Diba, Joff? Maging matyaga tayo. Maging matyaga tayo. Like,
Yeah.
hindi naman tayo lahat na nag-start tayo sa freelancing, expert and skilled na tayo agad eh. So, like what Joff said, pinag-aralan niya talaga. Nagsimula siya, yung design process, yung creativity. That's very inspiring, Joff, no? So, Joff is very, may specific niche siya. So, logo and brand identity. Kasi yung graphic design job, di ba, it's a very, very massive, broad siya. So I like that you have a very specified niche, which is a logo and brand identity. So that's so great to hear, Joff, and thank you for sharing that story. This one, Joff, eto, since ang dami kang pinagdaanan, di ba? From a corporate, etc., hanggang sa naging full-time brand designer. Eto ako, interested ako dito. So, ano yung biggest failure mo sa career mo? And paano mo siya minanage? And ano yung mga lessons na napag-aralan mo sa failure na to? Pwede mo bang i-share sa amin?
Napakahirap ng question naman yan. Anyway,
Madami yung failure.
may a sort of, pero yeah, this failure in my career, the biggest failure in my career is what we call opportunity. Yeah, yeah, kasi sa aking life as a human being, hindi lang sa graphic design or something like sa dance, kasi maraming dumating ng mga opportunities sa akin way back then sa mga nag-aaral pa ako. Maraming opportunity na dumating, and I ignore them. Ignore ko lang lahat yung mga opportunity, yun, such as yung employment matter, yung uh, yung scholarship ng school. I just ignored it, and hindi ko hindi ko binalyo yung binigay ng school sa akin. Tapos yung sa employment naman, ang daming mga opportunities that will be that will have, kung ano ako ngayon, hindi ako magiging logo designer or graphic designer kasi may ibang landas ko kasi kinuha ko yung opportunity na yon. But hindi rin ako nagsisisi dahil alam ko na may plano ang Diyos sa ating lahat, hindi lang para sa akin, para sa ating lahat. Kasi pinunta niya ako dito sa industry ng graphic design or sa logo and brand identity. Yeah. Kung
Rinab ba yung
mag-grab ko
opportunity?
Oo. Hindi wala ako dito na hindi ako nagsasalita para sa inyo. Yeah. Siguro nasa ibang bansa ako. Yeah, ganyan. Hindi design ang pino-focus ko. Yes. And the lesson that I learned from this failure, first, don't let the opportunity vanish. If nagsisimula ka pa lang ngayon or anong tawag ito, mga teens ka pa lang, grab the opportunity if possible. Kasi malay mo, dyan ka mag-excel. Diba? Kung hindi para sa akin, para sa iyo, excel ka. And then, good news to me that I have opportunity last year na merong blessings na dumating and hindi na ako nagdalawang isip na i-grab yun kasi baka mawala naman. Yeah, I have a client na 6 months na ngayon and I accumulated more than 90K na
Nice.
working with them. Nakalearn ako doon na hindi ko na palalagpasin ng mga opportunity na darating sa ating buhay ngayon. Kasi, malay mo, nandun ang 1 million.
Yes.
Oh.
Oo, totoo. I like yung biggest mistake and lesson mo, Joff, yung takeaway ko dun, is yung opportunity kasi minsan, pag pinabayaan natin, parang kasi minsan, bakit hindi natin tinatanggap yung opportunity? Kasi sabi na, hindi tayo, may iba tayong gustong sabihin natin, hindi pa time, mga ganun. May gagawin pa ako na iba, wala akong time, mga ganun. Pero the best thing is now, di ba? Ngayon, kung may opportunity, yeah, like yung client mo, tinanggap mo na siya kasi na nagka-lesson learned ka na. Then tingnan mo, retainer client mo na siya for 6 months, di ba?
Yeah.
Oh, like guys, huwag niyo i-miss yung mga opportunity kasi opportunity knocks only once daw. Tama si Joff. Malay mo, yung opportunity na yan, parang dinedecline mo, yan pala yung breakthrough mo eh. Breakthrough mo as a, or yan pala yung malaking client, pinakamalaking magbayad. Di ba, Joff? Maganda yan, Joff. Opportunity knocks only once, so just grab it. Okay? Grab it and start. Tapos kung hindi ka masaya, pag renab mo yun, then okay, you can just stop eh. Diba? The most important thing is, hindi ka nagsisi na kinuha mo. Yeah. So next time, Joff, wag mo na palampasin yung mga offers ha.
Yes, hindi na.
Yeah, that's true. So Joff, eto. As I've mentioned earlier, di ba, napaka-specific yung niche mo, which is logo and brand identity. Okay, hindi lahat ng mga graphic designers or tao alam na intindihan ano ibig sabihin nun. Diba? Kasi sometimes they think of brand or brand identity, akala lang nila it's just a logo and a company color. Kunwari, article design, blue. Parang gano'n. And then yung logo namin is A and D. Akala nila, the whole thing ng brand identity is yun lang. Diba? So, Joff, from a graphic design point of view, and a logo and brand identity designer, can you give us a detailed explanation dun sa mga confused sa definition na to? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng brand identity?
Yun, ang gandang tanong. Kasi ang daming nalilito dito sa brand identity design. First thing na i-share ko is the thing that everybody has a misconception is that the logo is not a brand. Kasi ang lahat sinasabi, ang logo is the brand. Di ba? But the logo is not brand. It's a part of the brand. It's a small piece part of the brand. At yan nakapatong ang lahat sa logo sa brand identity mo. Dahil ang brand identity, ang logo ang pinaka mataas. Kasi kung wala ang logo, hindi ka makakagawa ng mga calling card, mga letterhead, kasi wala kang logo. Kasi ang logo, it will represent you kung anong brand ka. And brand identity naman is marami siyang mga element such as logo, tapos the tone of voice, tapos the colors, the font that you use, and marami pang iba, but it will give the brand consistency because without brand identity, it will help the brand have a consistent posting such as sa Facebook, dapat consistent ka sa brand mo. Without the visual identity mo, it will be parang hindi ka magta-trust sa brand na nakikita mo dahil hindi siya consistent. Tapos, ang brand identity naman, hindi siya sa logo lang it will have all the function. And for your information and para sa lahat, the brand identity, it will take the brand strategy of your brand. Diyan ka makagawa ng mga brand identity mo. Kasi kung walang strategy, useless ang gagawin mo. Kasi ang brand identity, siya ang pinaka-last step in creating the brand. Kasi kung uunahin mo ang identity mo, tapos hindi mo alam yung mga strategy mo.
Hey, do you want to become a super freelancer? A super freelancer is a highly paid, creative, happy, and globally competitive freelancer. If you want to become one, you can enroll in our Super Freelancers course, 21 Steps to Fast Track Your Freelancing Business. We will teach you how to create systems, automate some of your workload, and how to avoid the feast and famine situation of chasing clients after clients. So go to articulndesigncourses.com and use the coupon code PODCASTFRIEND to get your 400 pesos discount. This is exclusive to our podcast listeners only. So see you there.
Sino ang yung market, wala, useless, sayang ang pera, sayang ang time. Dapat alam mo lahat sa brand mo. Kasi kung pipilit ka lang na gagawin mo yung identity first, then it's up to you. Yeah. The brand identity thing is just a part of the branding. Siya ang pinaka-last na step in creating those things. Just that the logo.
Yeah, wow. Detailed explanation nga, Jo. Thank you so much for that. Ang ganda. And I agree with you. Yung branding kasi as a whole is a very, very complex part ng digital marketing, di ba, branding? And then lahat ng business, magsa-start talaga dyan. You're right when you said na yung brand strategy goes hand in hand sa brand identity mo. And first, bago ka magkaroon ng identity, alam mo din yung strategy mo dapat. Ano ba yung gusto ng company? Ano ba yung product niya? Ano ba yung gusto niya ma-achieve? Diba? Then that's the time na pumapasok tong mga tulad ni Joff na identity designer na ginagawa niya kayo ng identity. Kumbaga ng avatar nyo na kung saan pag nakita nila yon is makaka-identify sila sa inyo. So guys, Joff is very clear na sinabi niya na hindi lang yan logo, hindi lang yan color, hindi lang yan font. Yung brand identities, para siyang reputation mo eh. And then, I really like what you said, Joff, na consistency. It is very, very important sa branding. Okay? Kasi bakit? Pag may brand consistency ka kasi, magkakaroon ng brand recognition. Like, for example, like yung Apple. Pag Apple, consistent sila sa colors nila, di ba? Like a grayscale, silver, alam natin kagad. Tapos pag Apple, consistent na minimalistic yung style nila. So, napaka-simple lang talaga. Yun yung kanilang brand recognition. Minsan, pag titingnan lang natin yung isang product, parang alam na natin na Apple yun eh. Kasi nga, yung design nila, ganun. I really like yung sinabi mo, Joff, na yung brand identity is like your visual identity as a brand, as a person, or as a business. Napaka-important din my consistency kasi makakatulong siya din sa, for example, yung sabi ni Joff kanina, pag magpo-post ka ng content, hindi naman pwedeng lahat dun sa content mo or social media post mo, nilagay mo lahat ng anong color sa Roy G. Biv. Lahat na ng colors ginamit mo. Not unless kung rainbow yung mo talaga, sa concept mo. But tama yung sinabi ni Joff na magkakaroon ng consistency and pinakamaganda yun. Lalo na sa mga nagsisimula na business. And kahit sa atin, mga freelancers. Like, article design, blue and white and black. Ganun na yung color namin. Tapos, Joff, I think yung color mo may orange, diba? And then, more than that, yun nga, sabi ni Joff, yung brand identities, ang dami niya eh. Ang dami niya talagang sangay. Ang dami niya talaga. And I agree with that, guys. Kasi, yung brand identity din, parang kasali na din kasi dyan yung, ano ba yung logo? Ano yung logo na ginawa ni Joff? Ano ba yung ibig sabihin nun? Diba? Parang may story din behind sa logo niya eh. So, identity niya yun. Diba? For example, gumawa ka ng logo sa isang yung mga, Joff, yung mga laundry ng mga business. For example, gumawa ka. Tapos nilagyan mo siya ng parang drop ng water, diba? Or something, or fresh, mga ganun, na nabubula-bula. Naiintindihan ka agad ng tao, uy, baka laundry ito, diba? Or kung drop of water naman, baka, ay, water refilling station to. Yung parang ganun, diba? So, may mga emotions na involved din. I hope it's clear paano in-explain ni Joff ano ibig sabihin ng brand identity. Because brand identity is more than just a logo. And logo is not a brand. It is just part of it. Dun sa whole branding mo as a business or as a freelancer. So thank you so much, Jo, for explaining to us. Kasi ako, nakikita ko ang dami pa talagang confused dito. Salamat sa pag-explain. Pero eto, Jo, eto yung pinaka-controversial question na nakikita ko talaga kung saan-saan. So, ng mga forums ng mga designers and etc. sa grupo. And hindi ko kasi, well, ako hindi ako designer kasi, diba? Hindi ako. So, hindi ko alam ano mga feelings nyo dito as a designer, as a professional designer. So, Joff, ito yung question. So, can you share to us your personal opinion on this controversial issue? Okay, i-quote and quote ko ha. So, sabi nila, why pay for a graphic designer when I can use Canva or similar tools? Some expresses concerns that it's harming the graphic design industry. What can you say about this as a professional designer?
It's okay. Yeah, for me, it's okay. I use Canva. Actually, I use Canva for fast na mga gusto ng client na fast output. Then, you can use Canva. Yeah, nothing wrong. Walang masama kung gumamit ka ng Canva or Adobe Spark kasi it's a design tool naman.
Yeah.
Depende din kung paano mo siya gamitin as a designer. If meron kasing downside yung pag gumamit ka ng mga Canva or other na mga tools kasi it will put you in a limit because kung marami nang gumagamit ng Canva, for sure, yung mga templated na mga template na ginamit nila, it will be parehas kayo. If ever nag-post ka ng ganito na template, then siya nag-post din yung ganun ng template pero meron lang changes na pangalan, then it will be confusing or hindi ka magiging unique. Kung gusto mong maging unique sa market mo, then you have to have unique na mga graphics. Di ba? For that, as a graphic designer, hindi ako nangangamba or hindi ako natatakot kung sila ang maging competition namin. Kasi, as a designer, I know the design, my design process, I know my skill, and then I bulletproof na my design services. For that, you need to upscale, you need to improve your skills as a graphic designer. Kasi, mediocre ka lang sa design, for sure, Canva will kill you. Kill you your design, di ba?
Business,
Kasi, Canva is, meron na siyang mga template. Yeah. If ikaw, basta-bastahin mo lang yung gawa mo, then, kung ako si client, pa na lang ako. Di ba? But, for that, my thought is, dapat hindi ka matakot dahil kung alam mo sa sarili mo na kaya mo yan at meron kang mga process na hindi kaya ni Canva, then for sure you will win. For me as a low brand identity designer, I'm upscaling my skills now to have magbayad pala sa akin na iisip ako. Bali, yung brand strategy. So, pasok ko na sa brand identity ko para it will bulletproof in the future kasi baka dumating na yung AI kasi yan, babadya na siyang dumating sa atin, AI design. You have the will na to upgrade your skill,
yeah,
your services as a designer. Kasi kung magpapatuloy ka lang na ganyan lang ang process mo, for sure, Canva will take over the things that we do. Di ba? But I'm not against the Canva thing or Adobe Spark thing. It's a tool naman. Depende na rin sa paggamit mo.
Yeah, wow, nice. That's a a great answer, Joff, ano. Kasi like, ako din mismo, like, I'm not a designer, but sometimes I do like mga quick, post lang, kung meron akong gustong i-post na hindi nagawa ng graphic designer ko. Pumunta lang ako sa Spark, Adobe Spark or Canva, or ano pa yung isa, yung mga relay that, mga ganon. So, pumunta lang ako doon, tapos, yun lang, quick lang. Yung mga, usually yung ginagawa ko doon, mga white background lang, tapos text, ganun lang. So, yun, okay lang yun di ba? Kasi wala naman masyadong design yun. Tama sa Joff na if just yung mga quick, lang, pwede mo siya gawin sa Canva. Pero, sabi ni Joff, if you're a designer, yung Canva, kung yun ang choice of tool mo, magiging limited eh. Diba? Magiging limited. Ang mangyayari, kung hindi mo pa talaga, kasi templated siya, tapos hindi mo binago yung template, pinalitan mo lang yung logo nun, drinag mo yung logo, tapos konting color, di ba, paano na yung uniqueness and originality mo? Ang mangyayari, maraming may ganun eh. So, yung brand consistency, ang dami nyo ng ganun. Diba? So, maganda rin yung sinabi mo, Joff, na this episode is brought to you by Cagayan Business Solutions. Cagayan Business Solutions is a Davao-based team that specializes in providing remote office assistance to businesses in various parts of the world. Unburden yourself from daily business tasks that are keeping you away from your goals. Hire a virtual assistant today. Check out Cagayan Business Solutions on Facebook and Instagram, or check out their website at camagansolutions.com. Okay lang yung Canva, pero hindi ka mag-rely heavily doon. And you have to upscale yourself as a graphic designer. Kasi ang graphic designer, maraming pwede kayong tools na gamitin eh. Diba? To come up with a design or a creative process nyo. Tama yung sinabi ni Joff, guys, na okay lang gamitin yung Canva and hindi naman siya kinakabahan na dun sa mga gumagamit ng Canva, yung mga ganun. Kasi siya mismo, he is confident sa skills niya. Okay? And then, for him to be more confident is yun nga, nag-upskill siya. Right? And then, tama yung sinabi mo, Joff, ang dami ng mga AI ngayon na dumarating. Yeah, we have to innovate din. Okay? We have to grow. As the business grows, kailangan mag-grow din tayo as mga freelancers. According to Joff, sa opinion niya, it's okay. Hindi naman siya takot na parang na-harm daw yung graphic design industry dahil sa Canva. Kasi as a designer, you believe in yourself eh. You believe in your skill. And hindi ka dapat nag-threaten kung sa Canva or what. Kasi iba din kasi yung skill mo talaga, Joff eh. Diba? As a person. Sa'yo yan eh. Diba? And then yung Canva, template yan eh. So, depende din sinong gumamit. For example, kaming dalawa ni Joff, sasabihin ko, kunwari ako graphic designer, gumamit kaming dalawa ng Canva. Sigurado ako na mas maganda yung ginawa ni Joff kaysa sa akin. Parang ganun lang yun eh. Depende din pa rin sa skill, paano mo siya ginawa. Minsan, hindi na siya sa tool. Pero ang suggestion ni Joff is, mag-upskill kayo. Huwag kayo mag-rely lang sa kunwari Canva or mga Adobe Spark. Ganun. Thank you, Joff. Ang galing. Napaka-controversial nito, Joff, di ba? Nababasa ko to kung saan-saan eh. Yes. Yung mga ganyan. Tapos yung iba nga, galit sila, di ba?
Kasi ang gumawa naman yan ng mga template is mga graphic designer naman.
Oo, totoo. Yeah.
Siguro ang target ng Canva is yung mga gustong mapadali ang trabaho or na makabayad ng malaki or something like that. But for me, it's not about na kung marami kang client, marami kang sales or something. Kasi kung meron kang client isa, then you have a high rate. Then, yung makompensate na lahat. Ngayong iba, 5 client, ikaw, isa, but same kayo ng rate.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ano na guys paano mo na rin i-position yung self mo as a freelance creative din. Yeah, there's no bad sa Canva guys, because even us, ginagamit namin siya in some quick ways. And then, tama si Joff, it's designed by, Canva is created by a graphic designer din, si Melanie. I think from Australia yun sila di ba? Yan, sa Perth. So, yeah, she's a graphic designer din. Okay lang yung Canva. Or if a graphic designer ka, kailangan mo din mag-upskill. Ganun. Right. So, Joff, in line with that, sa mga Canva, sa mga tools na pinag-usapan natin, ano yung advice mo na pwede mong mabigay sa someone, sa aspiring freelancers natin na gusto nila i-pursue yung career sa logo and brand identity? Ano yung parang 1 or 2 advice mo? Pinaka-advice mo, parang gano'n.
Pinaka-advice ko lang sa nagsisimula ko, gusto maging katulad ko na logo and brand identity designer, just know your why lang. Kung gusto mo to, then go. And push harder. Study harder. And if you feel like it's not for you, then don't push. Kasi mahihirapan ka, ma-stress ka, masayang oras mo. But if you feel like para sa'yo to, then push. Kasi if you love what you're doing, hindi
Hindi ka
ka,
burn out. Oo.
yan, hindi ka mag-burnout. Kasi, mahal mo ang ginagawa mo. Katulad din yan sa pagmamahal kasi if you love your wife or husband, then
Mm.
kahit ano, para sa kanya. Diba?
Oo.
Ganyan
Na,
lang.
oo.
Then, just patuloy lang kung anong gusto mo. Find your strength, find your why you do it. And hindi ko naman ina-advise na maging logo designer ka, graphic designer ka. Kahit sa ibang industry, just alamin mo lang yung why mo, kung bakit ka naging gusto mo yan. Yeah. Just push lang, push. Kasi it will papalo lang lahat para
Yeah.
kung ano ang gusto mo. Walang just click of one snap lang, andyan na, no? Sa process naman.
Oo. Sobrang gusto ko yung sinabi mo na it's a process. Okay? It's a process. It's a journey. Tama yun. Kasi hindi pwedeng like ngayon, nag-discover ako, aspiring ako, nag-decide ako, ay gusto ko maging si Joff, si Idol Joff, gusto ko maging logo and brand identity designer. Tapos gusto ko 1 week, kaagad ganun na ako. Alam mo yung ganun? Pero wala kang ginagawa eh. Diba? Nagka-canva ka lang, tapos ginagamit mo lang yung template. Ganun, wala ka talagang ginagawa more than that. Nag-upskill. So, tama si Joff, guys, it's a process. It's a process. Pero, bago ka magsimula, alamin mo yung why mo. Bakit mo ba siya gustong gawin? The stronger the why, the better na mas tatagal ka sa industry na to. Kasi may strong why ka eh.
Tama.
So, bakit mo siya ginagawa? Kung ano-ano, para sa pamilya mo, para ba sa, may charity kang ginagawa, yung may mga ganun ka, or, di ba, yung para gusto mo create ng university, yung mga ganun. So, it has to be a strong why. Bakit mo siya ginagawa? The next is, sabi ni Joff, hanapin mo yung strength mo. Hanapin mo yung strength mo. Importante na may strength ka and then you work hard sa skills mo. Ang galing Joff, no? Kasi like, as Joff mentioned, guys, kung ano-ano pa yung trabaho niya bago siya talaga nag-decide na, okay, eto na talaga. This is my niche. Kaya niya din sinabi, it's a process, guys. It's a process. It's a journey. That's a good advice, Joff, sa lahat ng aspiring brand identity designers or kahit sa sinong freelancers. Diba? Know your why first. Alamin mo muna, bakit mo siya gustong gawin. So, Joff, eto yung interested tayo mga freelancers, diba? Kasi tayo, iba-iba tayo ng mga ganito eh. So, Joff, ano yung one client acquisition strategy mo na you swear by? Na para sa'yo, eto talaga yung nag-work sa akin. Eto talaga the best client acquisition strategy.
Hard question. But for me, ginagawa ko, strategy ko is, I post value content na mag-resonate sa target ko na audience so that kung interested sila, then go. It will direct to my website na ginagawa ko pa. Kasi, direct to my website para malagay ko sila sa aking lead or sa aking email list. Di ba? At least, ma-update sila. Ganyan yung ginagawa ko. But usually, nag-post lang ako ng mga value content kasi sa akin na part is, para lang talaga yung nag-work sa akin. Word of mouth lang talaga. And but I post consistently naman sa page ko if meron akong new knowledge na incorporate
I-share mo.
o makatulong sa target ko, then put it away, fire.
Yeah.
Ganun lang ang strategy ko eh. Hindi ko na pinalaliman kasi it will be costly for me siguro. Oo, kasi sa ginagamit kong tool sa pag-email kasi I'm using free for now. I'm testing for it. But it works for me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's a good job. Kasi ako nakita ko, kasi di ba friends tayo sa Facebook and then nakita ko din yung pages mo. Ganun. Maganda kasi when you go to his page, guys, or kahit sa personal Facebook niya, nakikita mo may mga tips si Joff or mga valued content about brand and designs, ganun, and identity na pinopost niya. Tapos, nakikita mo rin doon yung parang, yun na rin yung sample ng folio niya eh. Kasi maganda yung ginagawa niya eh. Naka-design din eh. Diba? Naka-graphic design din yung mga ginagawa niya using his brand identity colors. So, nakikita ko din yung mga posts niya, which is really good. It's a really good strategy, Joff, kasi tama ka yung sinasabi mo na mag-resonate yung target market mo sa'yo. Kung nakita niya may pinost kang ganito, tapos, uy, ito yung kailangan ko ah. So, alam ni Joff, naiintindihan niya yung problema ko. Diba? So, i-contact niyo si Joff kasi yung pinost ni Joff is nag-resonate dun sa target market niya. So, kinontak niya si Joff, pagkatapos nun, yun, it's another client. Diba? Na successful. So, guys, yes, I totally agree. If you do consistent post ng value ng mga content, makakakuha ka talaga ng strategy dyan. I mean, ng client dyan. Makakakuha ka. Kasi makikita nila na, okay, alam niya yung ginagawa niya, expert siya sa field niya, and then maganda yung mga designs niya. Kasi graphic designer siya eh. And I agree with you sa word of mouth, Joff, and sa clients by referral. Kasi ako, nag-grow yung agency ko dahil lang din dyan, actually. So, first is, nagsimula ako sa Elance. Ganun, tapos sa referrals na after. Tapos hindi ako tumagal sa Elance. Siguro mga 3-6 months lang. Ganun. Then, nag-continue lang ako to upscale. And then hanggang sa nagkaroon na ng madaming client referrals. Kasi gumawa ka ng magandang trabaho tapos nagustuhan nila. Parang gano'n. So, yeah, I totally agree dun, Joff. Ang ganda na strategy yun kasi hindi mo kailangan gumastos. Magpo-post ka lang talaga muna ng valued post tapos ilalagay mo sa mga portfolio mo or mga social media mo. Tapos yung gastos doon, tama ka, doon na sa website mo tsaka sa mga email newsletter na. But that's another story na, diba? But, tama yung ginawa mo, mag-post tayo ng mga valued content. That's so good, Joff. Lalo na for designer. That's very helpful.
Bumili ka nito.
Oo. So, continue lang, Joff, dun sa pag-post mo kasi sinusundan ko yung mga post mo eh. And okay siya. Maganda siya. Kasi ako, hindi ako designer eh. So, nagle-learn ako sa mga post mo. I mean, hindi ako graphic designer. Although, gumagawa ako ng website, pero iba yung nagde-design. So, di ba? Iba yun eh, di ba? Iba yung UX sa UI, di ba? Ayun. So, yan. So, Joff, pahabol lang na question ha. Pahabol kasi nag-usap na tayo sa mga logo. So, bonus question lang, Joff. Kasi since logo and brand identity designer ka, siguro naman ikaw yung pinaka-appropriate na sumagot nito. The $1,000,000 question. What makes a good logo?
Yes, nice question. Sinabi mo na yung sagot, appropriate. Anyway, yeah, what makes a good logo is you need to have a logo that will work. Obviously, the criteria of having a good logo is to have it simple, appropriate, and distinctive and memorable. Yeah, dyan ako natuto kasi if you complicate things such as logo, it's hard for your brand to use that logo because such as sa mga printing mo, if ang logo mo is complicated, and then it will cost you a lot of money to do the printing. Ganyan. Dapat ang logo mo is simple, appropriate, distinctive, and memorable. Kasi if a logo na memorize mo agad in one glance at ipa drawing sa'yo and kung parehas sila na yung drawing mo at ang logo, then the logo is effective. It will last long. Yeah? Same sa National Geographic. Diba? This is a rectangle. Di ba? And regarding sa National Geographic, kung sino yung nag-design nun, isa siya sa mga inspiration ko kung bakit ako nandito sa industry. Kasi na-inspire ako sa kanila.
Nice.
Sa kanila tatlo.
Yeah, ang galing.
Dapat ang logo is, balik ko, ang logo dapat is simple, memorable, and appropriate, and distinctive. Yun lang. Yun ang criteria. Don't complicate your logo or para hindi ka makagastos ng malaki. Diba?
Yeah.
Yun.
Galing. Yes. Yes. Wow. Guys, masyado tayong na-spoil ni Joff ngayon. Marami siyang nabigay na ideas and tips sa atin. I really like it, Joff. And ang ganda nun eh. Ano ba yung logo? Hindi siya dapat complicated eh. Diba? So, sabi ni Joff, simple, appropriate. Simple lang siya, kaya siya naging memorable. Na maalala mo siya kaagad. Diba? Kaya nagkakaroon ng identity. Diba? Uy, National Geographic yan. Parang ganun. And then, appropriate. So, since National Geographic yan, dapat appropriate sa National Geographic yung logo mo. Di ba? Hindi mo pwede lagyan ng mga airplanes or whatever dyan. Di ba? Ganun, kasi hindi yun siya appropriate. And then, distinctive. Oo. Maganda yun. Ma-distinguish mo siya from any other else ng mga branding. Wow. Pati ako na ano ako dun eh. Ang ganda ng tips ng Joff eh. Simple, appropriate, distinctive, and memorable. Nice. So that what makes a good logo from Joff Ayo, who is a logo and brand identity designer. So you heard it first, guys, here. That's a nice job. Kaya pala, Joff, when I look at your portfolio, nakikita ko yung all of this criteria na sinabi mo ngayon, nakikita ko siya dun sa mga designs mo eh. Nakikita ko siya dun sa Facebook mo. Kasi tumitingin ako ng yung mga designs mo. Because I wanted to know you more. Nakikita ko lahat ng criteria na sinabi mo. Nakikita ko dun sa designs mo. Simple nga siya talaga. Pero, appropriate. And memorable. Mabilis siya ma-recognize. Like yung, I think may nakita ako na ginawa mo na logo, which is yung REF, R-E-F.
Yes.
Ewan ko kung maalala mo. Parang matagal na yan eh. So, R-E-F, tapos may parang mail sa yung sa gitna. Gusto ko yun. Ang ganda. Ang ganda kasi napaka-simple niya, pero pag tingnan ko, alam ko kaagad ano yun eh. So, yeah. Guys, if you wanted to be a really, really good logo designer, ito yung dapat na criteria nyo in creating a logo sa mga business owners or sa mga freelancers. Ayun. Wow. Ang dami nating natutunan ngayon sa episode na to, Joff. Thank you so much. So before we end this episode, Joff, where can our listeners connect with you online? And ano yung mga projects mo ngayon na gusto mong i-check out namin? Like yung mga podcast mo or whatsoever.
Thank you so much for having me here in your podcast article and design. For last na mga salita, I'm not the best or the best designer or logo designer here in the world, in the Philippines, but I can share some knowledge with you guys, some value na ma-share ko sa mga experience ko, and hindi naman need na kailangan mong maging the best as long as you will produce output sa client mo, and then good, and you're earning. Yeah. And for that, thank you so much, and you will catch me at my YouTube channel. Kung if you are Bisaya, then you can subscribe me at Logo Tabay channel, and then my Facebook page, Logo Tabay din. And I'm live streaming there every Saturday. I'm inviting din sa mga designer kagaya ko, share knowledge to you to my Bisaya designer. And then can touch my business page, Yok Ayo Logo and Brand Identity Design. You can talk, call, discovery call. So,
yeah, nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joff. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making it a podcast. Guys, check out my podcast din si Joff which is Talk Tabay, and then go to his YouTube, Logo Tabay, and then sa page niya, pumunta kayo kasi nag-i-invite siya ng mga Bisaya designers. If you understand Bisaya, it's really good. Ako, I understand Bisaya kasi I'm half Bisaya, half Tagalog, if that makes sense. So, yeah, pumunta kayo dun sa page niya, guys. If you're a designer, aspiring one, or kahit na siguro seasoned designer na kayo, if you want to collaborate, punta kayo sa page ni Joff kasi nag-interview siya ng mga kapwa designers din niya, which is really, really informative. Kasi napanood ko yung iba dun eh. Thank you so much, Joff, for being in the show once again. And we hope to see you again dito sa podcast. Balik-balik lang, bye! Thank you so much, Joff, and we will see you. Bye! Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed this, please leave us a review on our Facebook page, Article and Design. Please also follow us on our YouTube channel called Article and Design for more tips on freelancing and business. And if you want to go to the next level, check out our courses at articleanddesigncourses.com. See ya!